What better way to celebrate Halloween than sharing some ghost stories?
Yeah, there are plenty of them in North Dakota, and new this morning, Becky Farr is here. She has some spooky stories that she learned during a visit to the Taube Museum of Art. Becky?
Tim and Alicia, I sure do. So a fun fact about the Taube, back in the early 1900s, the downstairs housed a hardware store, but the upstairs was an opera house. Bela Lugosi, a famous actor from black and white horror films like Frankenstein and Dracula, lived in Minot and worked in that opera house for a short time. So it could be he who inhabits the Taube, but there are other stories too.
There were footsteps outside my office door, and I was working alone. I packed up and I left.
In almost 18 years, that's the only time that Nancy Walter was spooked enough to get up and leave. But that's not the only time that some strange things have been seen or heard here. Footsteps have been heard coming from the back of the building up through the front. And there's something about this room that little kids just don't like.
I had my 2-year-old granddaughter come up with me off of the step, and she froze in the steps. And she pointed up there and she was like, "Nana, no, go up there."
Kimball's a part of a group called Paranormal Investigators of North Dakota, who did a study at the Taube last year.
Very interesting stuff.
So to tell you the truth, I'm not entirely sure if I was a believer in ghosts, but after walking through this building and hearing some of the stories, I'm not so sure if that's the case anymore.
We were communicating with a male spirit at the time, and he actually took over the shape of one of our investigators. He is a very slender, petite guy, and we were taking pictures as we were doing the investigation to pick up orbs and different things. And there's a photo that we actually caught that he actually looks like he's taller and very muscular.
That was upstairs in the permanent collection room that children tend to dislike. But she's seen that male presence downstairs too.
On the landing right there is where I seen a full-bodied apparition of a man in a trench coat wearing a fedora hat. As I stepped towards him, he stepped down the stairs and headed off directly to the left here. He went around to the right here, around this pillar. I went to go cut him off here on this side, and by the time I got here, he was gone.
Kimball thinks it could be the old bank owner. The direction he walked in led him straight to the deposit box that's still there from the days when the Taube Museum of Art was the Union National Bank. So another interesting theory from Nancy Walter. She told me that there was a fire in the Taube in the early 1920s and that the Taube is constantly experiencing water problems. Something tells her that ghosts of the Taube's past are still working to put out that fire. So Tim, I know you had your wedding reception there, but I would like to tell you, don't worry. Your marriage isn't cursed or anything. Both women told me that the spirits there are friendly, so there's no threat.
So my marriage might be haunted by friendly spirits, you're saying?
It's good luck, right?
All right. Thank you for sharing that, Becky. Yeah, boy, spooky stuff.
Yeah, for
Keep
sure.
it with us.